The final days of the school year are supposed to be fun, playing games and having parties. And here at Eatonville's middle school, yesterday they went on a field trip to Wild Waves, and on their way back, the school bus got in a crash. It hit and killed a driver of a car while they were going through Graham. There's still an investigation into what exactly caused the crash. The driver of the school bus was not impaired. There was one student who was taken to the hospital, but no one else was injured other than the 79-year-old man who was killed. We learned today that his name is Manfred Bali. There were some counselors on the campus here of Eatonville Middle School, but the parents we spoke with today in Eatonville were really grateful, not about what happened, but what happened afterwards. There were dozens of volunteers who were working at a little pop-up festival with food trucks and vendors there in Graham, and they all rushed to help these kids. These kids just wanted to hug their parents, but they couldn't. They were in the middle of a crash scene, so some of these Good Samaritans came out and gave the kids lemonade and some hugs and some food and some treats. So the parents we spoke with said this could have been a whole lot worse and a lot more traumatic for their kids had they not had that help from total strangers. So kind of a silver lining to a tragic story here in Pierce County.
Think flight attendant uniforms are all the same? This new Seattle exhibit might change your mind. I'm Bethany on the King News Desk. This new exhibit just landed at Seattle's Museum of Flight, and it's taking off. It's called Runway to Runway, and it takes visitors through decades of flight attendant fashion, from go-go boots and colorful scarves to some bold airline-style choices over the years. It's not just about the clothes. The exhibit also shares personal stories behind the uniforms and even lets visitors touch fabric samples to see how airline fashion has changed over time. And according to the museum, some former flight attendants have already stopped by and spotted items they used during their own careers. For the full story, head to king5.com.
Greetings from the Emerald City of Seattle. One of the host cities for FIFA 2026 World Cup Soccer is here. I'm out front of the iconic stadium known as Lumen Field. Yes, home to the two-time Super Bowl champ Seattle Seahawks. But for the next month, this place is simply known as Field. Yeah, the home team has to hide in plain sight for a few weeks here. That's because FIFA has strict rules about corporate branding during the World Cup. Unless you're an official tournament sponsor, logos and names have to disappear. So for the biggest sporting event on the planet, one of Seattle's most recognizable landmarks is basically taking a stage name. Seattle is one of a handful of North American host cities selected for the tournament, and all of the cities face this same dilemma of removing corporate branding from their stadiums. That's the scene here in Seattle, just outside of Field, home to the theater. I'm just some guy.
Honestly, I couldn't sleep very well last night. I mean, so excited, haven't been this excited about a US match maybe ever. And I've seen all of them I can remember, since '94 when I was 10 years old. So really excited, can't wait for Friday, get to see them in person. This is gonna be that once in a lifetime experience. Gonna be there, like I said, with my son and daughter. I think it's gonna be looking back when I'm a grandfather or something like that. We'll talk about that time we saw the US national team play in person.
With 6 FIFA World Cup matches coming to the Emerald City, the Pacific Northwest is seizing its opportunity.
We want something to kind of make the city stand out.
From Seattle's iconic waterfront to Redmond's downtown park.
This sign is that kind of place.
We're just trying to put Redmond on the map for the world.
Both cities are spelling it out, planting their local pride in big, bold letters for the world to see.
So it's nice to show that the coastal spirit.
Beneath the Seattle Great Wheel, artist John Edward Smith has left his mark permanently.
I'm from a local tribe, but I'm not from King County, so being able to come out here from Shelton, Skokomish area and be a part of something in downtown Seattle is truly epic.
It's really just a celebration of the native heritage of the area.
Wonderful place to showcase the city.
Redmond is also turning World Cup energy into something built to last.
We're hoping to have a lot of international travelers that are coming for the games.
The city had an artist create this 5-foot sign.
We wanted to set our space here with something that people could be drawn to and share with the world and tell them where they are.
People will be taking a lot of photos here, a lot of videos. People from all over the world are going to be here.
For many, it's a photo op. For John, it's something more.
It just opened up just an awesome opportunity.
As soccer shines a global spotlight on the region, cities rise to meet the moment.
We really wanted to be intentional about welcoming visitors, welcoming our community, and then setting ourselves up for the future after the World Cup.
We want people to come visit us and have a really positive experience.
The world better not underestimate them.
It definitely puts a lot of belief in your heart that you think that we can do well. Just got to keep it going.
I'm sorry, bye-bye.
I'm just living in the moment. I'm excited. It was a great game. It was a good start.
Style. We like the style. Fluidity, they know what to do, where to go, and how to break that defense.
How far do you think this team can go?
At least around the 16 maybe.
Top of the group, top 16 for sure. Let's go for top 8.
I mean, the way they played, just keeping the pressure on, I think we got this. Let's go USA!
By the second goal, all of us were like, we can go all the way. If not all the way, at least just enough to, make sense of it all. But it was an amazing game. Amazing game.
It's official, Elon Musk is the world's first trillionaire now that his company SpaceX has officially debuted on the stock market, started trading around noon Eastern time on Friday, and it immediately popped in price from its initial $135 per share IPO to around $160 per share, a 20% or so jump. SpaceX itself now valued, according to the market, at more than $2 trillion. That makes Elon Musk worth more than the GDPs of some countries. And just today, just Friday, he added more wealth than Jeff Bezos' entire net worth. There was massive interest in the SpaceX trading. We heard from Charles Schwab that said that it was an unprecedented number of clients who were requesting shares. Robinhood, the trading platform, said that they saw record-breaking traffic that caused some customers to have issues with the app. What was unusual about this IPO was that SpaceX set aside 30% of its shares for retail investors, for everyday investors. That's triple the normal amount. All of those people buying into Elon Musk's vision of the future, of humans on Mars, of a lunar colony, of a vertically integrated AI company that owns everything from the models in Grok and xAI to the data centers in space and the rockets to get them there.
With those temperatures expected to climb into the 80s and 90s this weekend, officials are urging people to be careful around the water. The U.S. Army Corps of Engineers says most drowning victims at its lakes and rivers were not wearing life jackets. Even on hot days, many Northwest rivers are still cold enough to trigger cold shock. Officials recommend wearing a life jacket, avoiding alcohol, and sticking to designated swimming areas.
I'm still feeling the same way. I'm feeling broken inside. It's just hard to still process this, like what happened. It's just hard to still believe it. I still can't believe it. I would never get to see her again. I would never get to see that smile again.
Greetings from Seattle's original neighborhood, Pioneer Square. Seattle is abuzz. The FIFA frenzy is building. World Cup soccer is here, and the value of a free viewing party like this one has gone through the roof. If you feel like World Cup soccer is exciting but maybe too expensive, you're not alone. The last time the U.S. hosted was in 1994. The average ticket price was less than $30, $25. The average ticket price today, well, they've added a comma. $1,000. Yes, that's how expensive it has become. You're not wrong to think about that sticker shock. In fact, the last World Cup 4 years ago in Qatar, that was the most expensive ever. This one, 5 times more expensive. So yes, the price has gone way up, but the value of fun, getting together with your friends and family, is also at an all-time high. So celebrate World Cup soccer And look for the freebies like this one. All you have to pay is attention.
I'm a crab girly today. Look at what we did, the seafood boil. How do you make this sing at home?
What you're going to want to really make sure is that you have your butter not only at room temperature, you want to make sure that it is actually melted, and then you can add in your garlic, add in your spices to that butter, let it simmer so you bloom those spices and you actually infuse it with that garlic, as opposed to just having it all kind of mixed together. You want to let those flavors really marry together.
And also there's a reason for the madness in the order that you cook everything, right?
Of course.
So how does that go?
Obviously, it's going to deal with the actual cook times and the temperatures of the items. So like if you have your shrimp, which is a raw, that's going to only have to get cooked to 145 degrees, whereas like your snow crab and your king crab, which are already cooked and you're reheating, you're going to be cooking those to 165 degrees. So really just kind of knowing if it's a raw product, a cooked product, and just, you know, the size is also going to decide on the time as well.
Amazing. Happy crab boil season, right? It's a thing.
I mean, I'm excited. I was talking about how last night felt like Christmas Eve for me because it was like hard for me to go to sleep. It was hard for me to stay asleep. I was like waking up at like 3, 5 a.m. Just excited for today. I'm excited for my teammates, and like it's just gonna feel like a reunion and like kind of make us relive that moment of you know, just grinding all last season, and this is our reward.
It'll be exciting. Yeah, I mean, been looking forward to the day. I also think it'll be a nice kind of like, I mean, in my mind, I've kind of moved forward a little bit, but this is like an official like cap off to last year, and then, like Mike says, run it forward to the next year.
What a better way to kind of celebrate the end of OTAs and mini camp than to have this kind of party. It's going to be great. We're going to have a ton of fun. Probably have a few brewskis in there tonight and enjoy each other. I want to know if like my hand is just going to completely fall down to my waist with how heavy it is. A lot of people are saying it's a big ring, but it's one of those deals. It's going to be cool to celebrate, kind of put the final bow on this past season, and then probably wear it tonight, and then throw it in the safe and move on to next year and go try and get that second one.
When I was thinking of this project as we're hosting this event, the name of the piece is called The Hostess, a metaphor for the city that is sophisticated and intelligent and undeniable allure, with the gritty little loose marks on there. That's part of our city too. We say anybody who comes to Seattle, whatever you're into, we have it. This is a piece of art for the community, for the city, for 9th and Thomas. It's not just about me. It's about world event. It's about people coming into the city. We're gonna meet and host, and hopefully they have an amazing time here. Hopefully they go back home to wherever they live and say, Seattle is awesome. We will go back anytime.
A 23-year-old man has been arrested and booked into the King County Jail. Prosecutors have charged him with murder, and they connect him to a case that happened on May 24th in Kent. That's when detectives say Robert Owsley shot Marcus Presley 9 times and left him dead in a parking lot. Well, less than 2 weeks later, Owsley was in a vehicle with 3 other people involved in a pursuit, traveling at 130 miles per hour when that vehicle crashed. Now, Owsley survived, but 3 people did not: a 4-year-old girl, her mother, and an 18-year-old. Investigators say they're still reviewing that to see his involvement in the crash, but right now, the only charges he's facing are murder and a weapons charge. He is due in court for his arraignment on June 22nd.
Look at the inside of that glass. That is a party in a glass, my friends.
We're going to take a little bit of vodka. This is Ula vodka, a local from Seattle. So we're just going to pour a measure over that. It's one of my favorites. They really do a great job.
What is this?
Now, this is St. Germain. This is an elderflower liqueur. It's one of my favorite cordials to work with.
Is this what they always put in Hugo's?
Yes.
Okay, yes.
Okay.
Yum.
Now I'm adding a little bit of basically limeade. You can use lemonade. You can use almost anything you want. Just a little seltzer on top. It makes the drink a little bit lighter, a little bit more refreshing. And then lastly, I just happen to like these mint bitters.
I've never seen these mint bitters.
Yeah, this is from Fee Brothers in New York State, from outside of Buffalo.
Wow.
Zip to the drink.
It is a party now, my friend. Cheers.
Cheers.
And look at the garnish. What did you put all on that garnish while I taste?
So, in honor of red, white, and blueberry, it's a raspberry, a Rainier cherry, and a blueberry. So just like the American flag, red, white, and blue.
So cute, so fresh. You're right, the vodka is buttery. I get what you're saying. Look at the inside of that glass. That is a party in a glass, my friend.
Imagine running into the grocery store for just a few moments, and then you come back and your dog has disappeared. I'm Bethany on the King News desk, and I spoke with the owner of Parker, a 14-year-old Shiba Inu, who they say was stolen outside the QFC at Kirkland Urban on June 7th. They've had Parker since he was a little puppy and told me he's not your average senior dog. He has health issues that affect his back legs, and he needs extra care and monitoring. Now they're wondering where he is and if he's okay. Kirkland police are looking at surveillance video and trying to identify several people seen in the footage, along with a silver or taupe Chevrolet Malibu. After nearly 14 years together, they're just hoping Parker finds his way back home.
What will $19.5 million buy you on Mercer Island? The answer is an 8,000 square foot front row seat to the Pacific Northwest, with 5 bedrooms and 6 baths. The great room, dining room, and kitchen all flow seamlessly into each other, and there are a few surprises along the way, like these hidden plugs. There's a wine room big enough to make a sommelier weep, and a spa-inspired primary bedroom suite with a deck overlooking Lake Washington, a big tub, and a shower that can fit 17 people. In the Northwest, luxury isn't about showing off. It's all about making life easier and cozy. Oh, and having a built-in coffee maker.
Yesterday, Alexandra Lozano's firm Luz Legal shut down. A bunch of former employees also reached out to me saying that they just found out yesterday that this was all happening. This is a screenshot from like a company-wide Zoom call that Alexandra Lozano hosted yesterday, and you can't see the timestamp, but on the side it just happened at 2:03, so a little bit after 2 o'clock. And this is the email that everyone got afterwards saying that all office stores should be closed and that all employees will be paid through the remainder of the week. As for the former clients, they were really left without answers, but this is what Central Washington Legal Aid is offering. They're offering an address change workshop, which is the AR11 that people were asked to file. For a lot of the correspondence that the clients had with USCIS or Immigration Services, the return address on their files were for the law firm. So people need to change their addresses by filing this thing called AR11 to make sure that they get all correspondence from the government regarding their case, and that's what Central Washington Legal Aid is trying to help people do. They say it's not a legal consultation at all, but at least they can help you file that form so that your address is on file moving forward. And that's super important because you want to receive all the notices that the federal government sends you regarding any appointments that you might have coming up.
I'm on the Puyallup Reservation right now because tonight, Friday, they are having their FIFA World Cup celebration. It's kicking off at 7 p.m. with a massive parade. There's anticipated to be about 1,000 people marching in that and hopefully more attending from all across the world. After that, they're going to have the opening ceremony in this tent right over here. This is also where they're going to have the viewing parties for the 6 matches happening in Seattle. I am outside the tent now because I want to show you this kiosk right here. There's a bunch of them all throughout the venue. This is meant to spotlight the Puyallup tribe's language. You can actually listen to it by pressing one of these buttons.
To Urkwa Twilshak, Sokwas Yup Sokol. Transformer goes to the sky world, sun and moon.
That was the Lashut Seed language, an endangered language that the Puyallup tribe has been trying to preserve. Tonight, they are going to be able to spotlight that along with their culture and community on a global stage.
He's going southbound down a little trail here. He's going to be footbailing.
Stop now, police! Stop!
Running southbound from my patrol vehicle in an open field.
Stop now! Give up or you're going to get bit!
Dana.
Seattle Fire has officially put out the fire at this massive warehouse here called the Consolidated Supply Company. It is a plumbing warehouse, plumbing supply company. Tonight we can show you, you can see a little bit better view of the damage from the roof that collapsed at this building. Firefighters were able to evacuate from inside that firefight before that roof collapsed. Really incredible job making sure that this fire did not spread to any nearby businesses. As you can see, there is no active flames burning, but they're making sure that there's no hot spots or smoldering spots. But see how close it is to all these other businesses nearby. It really is remarkable that it did not spread given how high the winds were today. It really was a windy day, and that's what made it so hard for firefighters to fight this. So what we're seeing right now is the fire is completely out. They are still on scene assessing the damage. It could be a while until we find out what actually started this fire. We do know 100 firefighters were part of this firefight. They had about 17 engines here and 9 ladder trucks fighting this from all different angles. At one point, they also even brought in their fireboat in a ship canal to fight the fire from the water, which is really remarkable work here. So this is a look at the damage behind, but as you can see, firefighters are still here assessing this and working to put water onto the building. No more flames are here tonight.
The World Cup has come to Seattle-Tacoma International Airport, where visitors will have their first chance to buy officially licensed FIFA merch like hats, balls, T-shirts, sweatshirts, pop figures of players and mascots, as well as mugs. A virtual soccer simulator and big screens have also been set up because welcoming soccer fans to Seattle is obviously the goal.
Welcome to the 2026 FIFA World Cup. I'm Jessica Janner Castro. King 5 has you covered for this tournament. We are going to take an in-depth look at the stages